Hi, bright suns, everybody. Recently, I have gotten the pleasure to go into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge about a week and a half early. My very good friend took me in with her for the cast member preview, so we got the first day for cast members to even see the land, and it was amazing. But there was a lot that I wish I knew before I entered the land, because between May 31st to June 23rd, you have to have a reservation to get into the land, and that reservation is only for 4 hours. Seems like a lot of time, but there's so much to do in Batuu that you just need every single second that you can get. The very first thing I would suggest to do is to go to the cantina. That line was out the door the whole entire time. That line was so long. When we went to go actually wait in line too, the cast members told us that they weren't taking any more people because the line was so long. So my first suggestion is go straight to the cantina. If you enter through the far right gate of Galaxy's Edge and just go straight, the cantina is right there. The cantina does not serve food. They only have alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. But I would highly suggest going there first, and if a cast member tells you, oh, we're not accepting people right now, just keep periodically checking back because they do reopen the line eventually. It's just because the line's way too long, they don't accept any more people. From my experience, I would suggest not riding Smuggler's Run right when you enter for your reservation time, because that's what everyone wants to do. Everyone went straight to Smuggler's Run, the wait time went up to an hour, so we were thinking, okay, maybe we just shouldn't do it today, and we'll go check out the rest of the land. So we waited a little bit, and then about an hour or two later, we walked onto the ride. There was absolutely no wait. I mean, at the most, we probably waited for 5 minutes, but please do not go straight to that ride. You will waste your time. It is not a good idea to go straight there because that's what everyone's doing. We saved so much time by just waiting until the wait time went down. Smuggler's Run basically is you guys trying to fly the Millennium Falcon. There are 3 different scenarios. We got the one where we're trying to get coaxium, which is the like glowing blue tubes from the movie Solo, if you guys have seen that. Also, as far as Smuggler's Run goes, I believe it wasn't that much of an amazing ride. I think it was just kind of Star Tours on like steroids. It was pretty cool. You do get to flip the switches, fly the Millennium Falcon. I think just the position I had, which is Gunner, was not good. So if you don't know how it works, there are 3 positions for Millennium Falcon: Pilot, Gunner, and Engineer. We were Gunner, so we basically just were pressing one button the whole entire time. Pilot gets to like crank the ship into light speed and do a bunch of different stuff. I'm not too sure what the engineers were doing, but I'm guessing they probably had more buttons than we do. We basically were just pressing one button the whole time. The graphics are really cool. It's like 3D, but it's not popping at you, it's more popping like inside, and it looks all holographic. I would say the best part of that ride was the queue. Waiting inside the Millennium Falcon by the hollow chessboard, pressing the buttons on the hollow chessboard, walking through the hallways of the Millennium Falcon was amazing. Disney did not miss one detail with making that queue. And then if you also do not know, Smuggler's Run is going to be the only ride open in Star Wars Land for a while. Rise of the Resistance will be a second ride for that land, but there's no official opening date for that ride yet. So as of right now, it's just the Smuggler's Run where you get to control the Millennium Falcon. Smuggler's Run also did have a single rider queue available. It wasn't open when we went, but I'm sure it will be open in full force once the land officially opens. As well as they did have the scanners for fast passes, but as of right now, everyone's saying that Smuggler's Run will not have fast pass. So I'm not sure if they're going to utilize fast pass in the future or if those scanning machines are for something else right now. I'm not too sure. But it did look like they could accept fast passes, so I'm not sure why they aren't using it yet. But we will see in the future if they do open it or if they do use it. One of the most heavily anticipated food and drinks of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is the blue and green milk. We got the blue milk, and personally, I did not like it. We actually both didn't like it. We ended up throwing it out. It's $6.99 for a cup about that big, and I believe it just wasn't worth the price of how big it was, as well as It tasted as if an ice cream truck gave you like one of those Powerpuff Girl popsicles and melted it. That's what it tasted like. It was kind of bubblegummy but creamy. I don't know. I didn't personally like it. I've heard that everyone likes the blue milk more than the green milk. We didn't try the green milk, but it is more of a earthy taste, as everyone's saying. Like kind of like a green tea earthy taste. I didn't like the blue milk, but you guys should give it a shot because it's one of the most anticipated things and every Star Wars fan is looking forward to trying it. I'm upset that I didn't like it. As far as actually inside the land goes, it almost seemed as if to the right was the First Order and to the left was the Resistance. So to the right we saw Kylo Ren walking around, stormtroopers. We saw stormtroopers on top of the buildings with guns, almost like they're like patrolling the area. And towards the Resistance side, we saw Rey and Chewbacca. Also, there were a ton of PhotoPass photographers throughout the park. We took a lot of advantage of those just because we weren't allowed our phones into the cast preview. Hence why I have no pictures or video of the land. But I am going June 2nd again, and I will get full footage of the land and post another video up on my channel, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We also will not get our photos from the PhotoPass photographers until May 31st because that's when the land officially opens. But once we do get those photos, I will be posting them on my Instagram at Alyssa Shribes right here. If you guys go ahead and go follow that, I will keep you guys up to date with all of my Galaxy's Edge photos. Also, everyone in the land is in character 24/7. They have cast members just walking around in normal outfits just to talk to people. So a little tidbit is they do have their own language. So, bright suns means hello during the daytime, rising moons means hello during the nighttime, and to the spire or till the spire means goodbye. We did ask a cast member if it's pronounced to the spire or till the spire, but he said it's just whichever way you want to pronounce it. He says to. But there were cast members walking around to show us stuff or ask if we've seen specific people. It was really, really nice. And throughout the whole land, you don't feel like you're at Disneyland. You feel like you're in a whole new world. The land is huge. I can't even compare it to another land in the park. You really feel like you're in Batuu. With all the characters walking around, with how big it is, you feel like you're in Batuu and not in Disneyland. As far as food goes, there is Kat Saka's Kettle. There they have flavored popcorn that's resembles almost like Fruity Pebbles, and it's also spicy, so they have a mix of like colored popcorn. They also have Ronto roasters, where inside the middle of the restaurant they have a big pod racer engine heating up the food and a robot turning it. It looks super cool. This restaurant is more of a walk-up order and go somewhere else or carry it while you're eating. There they had a grilled sausage and roasted pork wrap. We didn't get to try those, but they did look really good. We personally went to Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo. The food was amazing. There's no place in Disneyland that has food that good. That is my favorite restaurant for food ever in Disneyland now. They have smoked Caddo ribs, which are sticky pork ribs with a coleslaw and a blueberry corn muffin. This is what we ordered. We really liked the ribs. The slaw was okay for me. The blueberry corn muffin was not our favorite. They weren't doing substitutions the day we went, but hopefully they'll be doing substitutions in the future because I would love to switch both those sides out for mashed potatoes because those ribs were so good. They also have fried Andorian tip yip, which is crispy chicken and then mashed potatoes, roasted vegetables, and gravy. They had roasted Andorian tip yip salad, which was chicken, mixed greens, seasonal vegetables, quinoa, pumpkin seeds, and green curry ranch. And then they had the Ethorian garden loaf, which is for dinner only. And that is a plant-based meatloaf with roasted vegetables and seasonal vegetables and mushroom sauce. And then there's the Yob shrimp noodle salad, which is grilled shrimp, marinated vegetables, and noodles. And then they have the Felucian garden spread. This is for lunch hours only. It is plant-based with herb hummus, tomato cucumber relish, and pita bread. For dinner hours only, they have the braised shack loaf, which is beef pot roast, pasta, kale, and mushrooms. We did also have one of the desserts. We had the Wee Wee Puff, which is a raspberry cream puff. It looked so cool. It reminded me of something from Pandora over in Walt Disney World, and it tasted so good. It had like a passion fruit frosting on top. My favorite. And I don't really like cream puffs all that much. so good. They also had a Batu bun, which is like a chocolate cake with coffee frosting. And then they had 3 different juices. They had the moof juice, which is fruit punch, orange juice, and pineapple with a chipotle kind of spiciness to it. They have Fatro, which is tea, lemonade, and desert pear. And they have Batu Bucha tea, which is like a kombucha mixed with pineapple passion fruit. They also don't have plastic utensils there. It is more of like an order your food and go sit down. They have these super cool, really heavy metal sporks. So it's like a fork on one side and a spoon on the other. Also, since we could not bring our phones in, we could not try the Play Disney Parks app, but I would highly suggest downloading the Play Disney Parks app before you enter Batu, because it is supposed to be fully interactive with the land, and you're supposed to have missions and stuff to do on the app. Also, there's so much just to look at and buy and walk through in the shops that I would suggest just spending like an hour just walking through. We spent probably 2 hours just walking through the land and looking at everything, and we still missed places. We didn't go into the lightsaber building room because we didn't know that you need a secret password to get in, so we saw people walk in and we tried to follow them, and the cast member said that it wasn't open yet. But now we know that we just needed a password to get in. But if you would like to build your own lightsaber at Galaxy's Edge, which they are $200 because they're metal and very nice, so heads up, $200. Please look up the password before you go, because we didn't get to even go in there. The droids are, I believe, around $100 depending on which droid you get. They did look super cool. The cast member was saying that one of the droids is harder to navigate than the other one, so I would suggest asking them which one's which. I believe they said the BB-8 is the one that's harder to navigate, but double check. They also have the little monkeys, which is the monkey that sits next to Jabba the Hutt, that you can put on your shoulder and remote control. They are $70. I was going to get one, but could not afford a $70 little animatronic, but it was super cute, cool and cute. They have an alleyway filled with shops. They have a place where there's a bunch of games to buy. They have a pet store. They have a place with shirts and pins. And I did end up buying this Batu pin. I thought it was super cute, so I bought that pin. They will have limited edition pins soon. Right now they only had open edition. Inside that little alleyway with all the shops, they do have one restroom, and then the other restroom is located kind of towards the left of the milk stand. So, as I suggested earlier, I would suggest the very first thing is to go to the cantina. If the line is full, go eat, go try out the food, because the stores will be packed, but they will kind of calm down later in the day. We went to the stores first, and it was so hard to even go through them because some of the stores are very small. After you've gone to the cantina and gotten food, then go look at all the stores. Trust me, you will have plenty of time to look at the stores. And always be checking back on what the wait time is for Smuggler's Run, because hopefully it will go down like it did for us. Also, each reservation, the first hour and the last hour overlap with the other reservation times. So the middle 2 hours are the prime time to go do anything in the park because it will be less crowded. And as far as the gates go for entering Galaxy's Edge, the leftmost gate is over. If you go past the Hungry Bear restaurant restrooms, it'll lead you off into the left side of Galaxy's Edge, and that'll be the Resistance side. So that's where Rise of the Resistance will be. There's some ships to take pictures in front of. There's Rey and Chewbacca there. And then the middle gate will take you into the middle of the land, so it's kind of in front of the alleyway of stores, and then there's another ship to take a picture of. And that gate is located on Big Thunder Trail, just to the left. The rightmost gate, which is the right gate on Big Thunder Trail, will drop you off right in the First Order side and pretty close to the cantina, as well as really close to the blue and green milk. So hopefully this video will help you in your journey to Galaxy's Edge. Please let me know in the comments down below when you are going to be visiting Star Wars Land, when your reservation time is. Also, make sure to subscribe and like, and I will see you guys in Batu to the Spire.